K909 back for another episode of Reading the Wrong Way. In this episode I'm going to be reviewing the Earl and the Fairy series by Ayuko. The Earl and the Fairy is rated T for teen. This is a perfect rating. It's not too violent and there haven't been very many explicit words, but the themes are still a little bit too mature for a younger reader. As far as I know, there are only 4 books in the series. However, since the series is relatively new, I'm not entirely sure if that's accurate. It seems to me like there should be more, but the website I usually use as my manga resource says that the series is complete at 4 volumes. The series originally comes from a light novel series with close to 30 books. In volume 2 of the manga, the author notes that they could not fit everything from the novels into the manga and hopes it will suffice. If you're planning on purchasing the series, just be prepared for a longer one in case I'm wrong. Or, if you know for a fact the number of volumes, feel free to comment down below. But for right now, there are 3 volumes. The story is set in a Victorian English world. Lydia Carlton is a fairy doctor, able to see and communicate with different fairy folk. Because of her ability, her peridot-colored eyes, and her rust-colored hair, people tend to outcast her despite her overwhelming kindness and willingness to help other people. She also talks to her fairy Nico, who takes the form of a cat, adding to her quirks. Her abilities attract the attention of a man named Edgar Ashenbert, who believes that she can help him obtain the Sword of the Marrow and become the legendary Blue Knight Earl. He is accompanied by his assistants and longtime friends Raven and Ermine. Edgar hires Lydia to be an advisor in his quest to obtain both the sword and the title. So what do you need to know about the series? I first saw the series in a manga catalog, and what really made me want to read it was the storyline. I'm a big fan of folklore and fantasy, as you can tell from my little dragon necklace. Lydia is a very relatable character, even if her world isn't entirely real. She's naive, independent, trusting, and reliable. Even though a good chunk of the series is based on fairies, the author does ensure that Lydia explains what they look like, what the most common myths about them are, and how humans that believe in them can help them. Even though this is technically a shoujo series, it feels more to me like a combination of shoujo and shonen. There's certainly a lot of romance, considering Edgar is extremely flirtatious and not shy about his feelings towards women. But there's also a fair amount of action. Both Raven and Ermine are skilled fighters able to kill and disarm their opponents with ease. Edgar as well possesses decent fighting skills. Fights can get a bit violent, but Edgar usually whisks Lydia, and therefore the reader, away soon after the fighting begins. As with most series, I love the artwork. It's a pretty basic shoujo style, with the characters having very big expressive eyes. Their hair is highly detailed, and as far as period-style clothing is concerned, the outfits match the characters in both status and personality. I especially love the different fairies, and how much care and research went into making them accurate to common folklore. There aren't really any bonus pages or special notes. In Volume 3, there are 3 short comic strips that feature Raven that are pretty funny. This manga does have an anime series, which I'm assuming follows more closely to the original novels. I have not watched all the anime in case there's spoilers that'll give away the ending of the manga. I have seen up to episode 5 and so far I love it. Relationships between 3 of the main characters have been changed from the manga and there are small changes to several scenes, but overall it sticks to the story pretty well. After seeing unfamiliar characters in episode 5 that have been listed on the Wikipedia page, I believe that this is where the light novel comes into play. Regardless, I was able to follow the story. I also think the art style of the anime fits perfectly with the series, and I recommend that you watch it. This is a great new series for people that like fantasy and romance stories. Even if you aren't into Victorian-style literature and settings, it's still worth reading. The setting seems to romanticize the story even more. Check it out, and I'll see you next time.
When I was given freedom, oh, all I did was plead. When I turned back, there was nothing to see. You closed your doors before I could open mine. Now I know, now I see, it was a